in my head. Meanwhile, we do have the people in the chat cheering for their boy. He was able to do it. So Nia is in the semis. We will be casting his series after this. But before that, we have NA-LatAm, JimRising himself here against another one of the up-and-coming players. He's young. He's 19. He's from Canada. Recently joined Alpha X. Wait. Here we go.
In the top right-hand corner of the map, in our first semifinals, we have our red Zerg playing for TriGGeR Esports. It is NA-LatAm.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Pillars of Gold LE, we have the Canadian Protoss player. He is yellow. He is newly representing Team Alpha X. It is TriGGeR.
Does your abuelita make taquitos?
Man, I'm not Mexican.
That's unfortunate.
Oh god. So what is the difference between un taco y un taquito?
I don't know. So okay, technically a taquito is like a rolled tortilla with filling and fried, right?
Fried.
But like some people call them tacos as well, which bothers me. So I don't understand why.
Hold on.
Okay, big example, right?
Okay.
Is okay. Do you know there's a chef named Aaron Sanchez? Right? He calls them tacos. Because he grew up in Texas, in this place called El Paso, and there's a restaurant that's really famous for these taquitos, right? They like have them and they put them in like this paper, like boat thing, and then they cover them with sauce and cheese and shit. But he calls them tacos. I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me because that's not a taco technically. But it could be. I don't know.
So, from what I understand, I know there's a lot of Mexicans that are really like open with interpretation to taco, and really like anything wrapped in a tortilla is a taco, like it's whatever's in there. But I need to wrap my head around what you're saying. You're saying a taquito is a taco, but you fry it?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You deep fry the bitch.
You make the taco. You have a taco in your hand. It's ready.
Yeah.
And then you like deep it in oil and you fry it?
Yeah. It's to get the tortilla crunchy.
But like, okay, this is the thing though. Is it just for like tortilla to get the filling also gets fried?
Yeah. Well, generally it's just meat inside. Like ground meat.
So you fry the meat again?
Yeah.
It's
not an American thing. Okay?
What do you mean it's not an American thing?
Listen, I don't know.
My god.
Tex-Mex, I'm pretty sure.
Like in my mind, you got your taco with like your meat and like your like tomatoes and like your lettuce and cheese, and then you dunk it in oil. You just
no veggie, just the ground meat.
Oh god.
Veggies go on top after you fry it.
Okay.
And like sauce and shit.
Yeah. Shaking my head, man. Shaking. I want it inside me though, not gonna lie.
Oh, dude, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, void ray opener. Nothing different, right?
So we didn't get
Hit the probe!
Ay, Jim, please. The Lings, they do not deny the third base. Meanwhile, we got nothing but Lings coming across the map to try and take this out, and the DPS may be too high. The void rate may not be enough. He could get a cancel.
Oh, please. Oh, my.
Oh boy.
Pylon, right? Like.
He's got a couple more Lings on the way. It's gonna be close.
Fuck that bitch up. There you go.
He gets the probe. Ooh, he even slips in a little bit, and he gets a full scout.
Yo, that Zergling is lubed up.
Yeah, oiled up, you know, like a taquito. Beautiful. But as we get into this series, as the openers are fairly standard, Jim, he was able to deny the third base once, which is quite nice. I do want to quickly talk about the players. So yesterday I casted Sentimiento Latino with Starduck. Starduck, of course, a very young Australian Protoss, and he is good friends with TriGGeR. They didn't grow up together, but like, you know, they slowly grew as players together, and TriGGeR is another one of those young up and comers. He has slowly risen the ranks. He's 6k on NA as well, so he's pretty solid, and this is his real big test right now, going up against someone like JimRising. Starduck was able to take out JimRising before, and JimRising does snipe one of these Void Rays. JimRising notoriously struggles against Protoss. Oh.
Shooting his hatchery.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that was it was pretty good, but dude, Void Rays getting those 6 drones and you know, just trading out for 1 was pretty good for TriGGeR in my opinion, though. Jim is still up ahead of workers, that's for sure, but you know, as many drones as you kill to make, you know, the Zerg player remake the drones is better for you, I would say.
Definitely. No, Jim, like, notoriously, he's known for just skimping out on queens. Like right now, like I do like that he has made a couple more. And to be fair, TriGGeR didn't commit to a double Void Ray style. He's going straight into Blink Stalkers. Interesting.
Do you think he's meting or he's trying to read Jim? Because Jim would usually go Spire, right?
That is.
You think like TriGGeR's thinking, oh, like, because he sent the Phoenix out, right, for a secondary scout, didn't see anything, but in the back of mind, he could be like, Jim's hiding that Spire somewhere, so he's getting that Blink Stalker to counter that.
It's possible. I'm
or maybe he just thought, he's just like, I'm gonna get Stalker.
I'm just a little bit concerned because of a couple of things. JimRising has had very limited scouting information, and I think TriGGeR is hoping that JimRising is preparing for double Stargate, and is getting roaches, because Blink Stalkers with +1 do fairly well against roaches. The problem is that JimRising is going Mass Hydra. Mass Hydra, like, I feel like Blink Stalkers are not what you want against that. As you said, Blink Stalkers. Oh god, it's not force field. Oh god, he missed
the Hydra's through.
They're squeezing in.
All right, the drones get pulled off the line. The Stalkers are in. The entries. Force fielding out
going down.
That ramp. He still got a lot of energy though, and the War Prison does get picked up. War Prison still lives amazingly.
Oh my god, just barely.
That War Prison has 1 health.
It has 5 HP, just barely alive somehow, some way. Ooh, that was the last force field. He needs a couple more sentries, but he doesn't warp them in. The Hydras are gonna get up.
He's bouncing, dude. He's leaving. He's peacing out.
Oh god, he blinks down, but the Hydras are here on the low ground, ready and waiting to catch the army, looking to try and catch it on the retreat. Meanwhile, luckily, JimRising did get his lair at his natural, not his main, so not the worst thing to lose that hatchery.
Oh, grab him. The wraparound.
Oh god, the wraparound, he has to be so careful. Oh, force the recall.
But a lot of those Stalkers do get out. He's only going to lose 3 from what it looked like, and TriGGeR is already, you know, teching out. He has Colossus. He's getting extended thermal lance. He has a Colossus all ready to go. If he micros that Colossus pretty well, he can. This is defendable. The War Prison does get sniped right away. The Colossus is being targeted, but overcharge is too good, and it looks like he defends.
Yeah, overcharge is too good. Colossus is too good. GG gets called, and TriGGeR takes game number 1.
I totally forgot that War Prism sentries was a thing until I saw that. And
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god, that thing was in
So-
it. That's why he got Blink.
Exactly. I didn't realize it was happening until it was happening. Oh god, and
You always
Jim.
forget that like Protoss players can do that until you see it.
Yeah,
And then you're like, oh, right, that's a thing. That was scary though. He missed that first force
He did.
field by like that one hex.
Exactly. Yo, the Hydras, they were like sucking it in, like squeezing past. I was like, oh my god, no. Oh god, that was so close. But in the end, TriGGeR was able to pull it off, and I didn't get to talk much about it, but JimRising, again, like, he's been struggling in this matchup a lot. There's a reason why you brought it up. JimRising, now instead of playing ZvZ, he actually plays Protoss. He's been playing a lot of Protoss on stream, and to be fair, he's been getting pretty good at it. But against Protoss, he's still struggling quite a bit. Mate, is he gonna switch to Protoss?
I don't think so. Imagine though.
Oh god. Taco dorado equals fried taco, and it's like a little flute. A flute? Catching up in chat.
Yeah. I think I know what he's talking about. Like a flute is like a very like a small folded taco, like a really tiny one.
Ah, like a fried dim sim.
Dim sum.
Dim sum. Dim sim sum.
The fuck's a dim sim?
What?
Dim sum. Oh wait, hold on.
What are you on about? Dim sim is a thing. It's a fried. What are you talking about?
Alien thing, isn't?
It's popular in Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah. It's like the Australian version of like. I remember it.
It's a fried dim sum. It's a dim sim.
It's not a real thing.
It's a real thing. It's right there.
Yeah, the top left-hand corner of the map, we have a red Zerg play who's down 1-0 playing for TriGGeR Esports. Can they bring it back on Death Warrior LE? It is JimRising.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Canadian Protoss player. He is yellow. He's representing Team Alpha X, already up 1-0 in this best of 3 semi-finals. He is so close for the first time to make it to the grand finals. Can he do it? It is TriGGeR.
I think I remember talking about dim sims with you a long time ago.
Did we talk about dim sims?
I remember a conversation about dim sims where they're like street food and you get like steamed dim sims in like a bag and you have like soy sauce in it.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
I do remember this conversation. I don't remember if it was with you though, but it is something I do remember. Like,
wait, so you don't have dim sims in America? That makes no sense to me because you fry everything.
Like a dim sim would just be like a fried dumpling, like a fried shumai, or like a dumpling. Like we don't call it dim sim, we call it like a fried dumpling.
Oh my
fried
god, mate, you could save some energy and some breath by just making the words like shorter, okay? Oh god.
It's okay, we just have all right.
Oh, and yeah, here we go. We're slowly getting into this game, and I'm concerned, not gonna lie, for JimRising. You know, he's such a good player. He is such an experienced player. He's a veteran. He can do so much better, but again, I don't know what it is, but whenever he plays against Protoss, it's like his brain turns off sometimes, you know? He starts to fall apart. Like, he loses the mental game already. Like, he
just starts drinking when he sees Protoss.
That's exactly what happens.
Like, you know, he's like in a tournament, right? He sees the bracket, he's like, ah, pinche Protoss. Because he pulls out the tequila. You know, just takes a swig while he's at it.
God, it's how he copes, man. It's how he copes. Yeah. Feels bad, man.
Do you think Jim's gonna go for the early Spire play this time? Because last game, early Spire is his go-to, right? He makes the Protoss go Phoenix, right? Then he comes in with the Hydro timing.
Yeah.
But like last week, he hasn't been doing much. You know, we felt that it's not as good. Protoss players are getting smarter, but it's still his go-to, right?
It is. The problem is that I feel like it's a very map dependent build. Like I feel like it works best on Romanticide. On Death Aura, maybe. I don't know, because it feels like Death Aura is a really solid macro map where like these 4 bases are pretty close to each other and you can defend pretty easily as a Protoss to get up to that Sky Toss. I don't know if Mutas will really even get that much value when you go into Mutas and then switch. It's hard to say. Maybe it could work, but yeah, I don't know. Look,
You can do like the Creep Highway, like what's his face?
Chan? Yamaika?
The one that went to Korea. The number 4 guy. I forgot.
Number 4?
In Latin America?
Oh, Eric. Yeah. Number 4.
Yeah.
You know the guy number 4. I do know him. Yes.
I was like, the guy who went to Korea, and I was like, that is way too vague. Number 4 guy in Latin America. Eric. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jesus, Kai, it's broken down to a number, mate.
Sorry, bro. I have that.
It's all good. It's all good.
I remember Dim Sims though.
Look, if it's food related, if you can eat it, then you remember it.
Yeah. I mean, never mind.
I knew where you were going with that one. Yeah. Meanwhile, TriGGeR is doing, pretty standard Protoss things. We do have this time double Stargate play. We have +1 flyer attack already on the way. So TriGGeR is committing to these Void Rays to begin with. We'll see how many queens. Oh, I love this. Look at this. JimRising. He made queens.
Improving. Jim, I'm so proud of you.
He's learning. His brain is expanding. Oh, good. All right, here we go. Meanwhile, he's not going for his Muta thing. He's not going for the Spire, unfortunately. But, I mean, he could be looking to hit this kind of timing here with +1 on the way.
All right. We'll see if he does. He did get his 4th across, at the north. There's a Void Ray here just, being cheeky. Killing off for over. It's not going to kill that hatchery, most likely, because Queen's already on their way over. And I guess now is TriGGeR. How fast is TriGGeR going to go into Fleet Beacon, or is he just going to stick with mass Varriers for the time? Mass Void Rays for the time being. I almost said Varriers. I combined Void Rays and Carriers together.
God damn it.
My brain is not working today.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm really curious to see as well, because he's still pumping out more Void Rays. He is committing to a little bit to the ground army. I was thinking that because he was going for +1 flyer attack, we could see like a Fleet Beacon and like Flux Veins to help support those Void Rays, but no, he's just working on the +1 and that's it, and then going and switching into the ground.
A lot more gateways.
Does he
have a Twilight Console? Oh, he has one. He's getting charged. Oh, you think he's gonna go just mass charge?
Yeah, he's gonna go mass charge with the Sky Toss. We'll see if he hits a timing, or if he just has this set up and then just goes for an expansion. Yeah, he's going for a 4th base. So this is what I mean, like on Death Aura, mate, you just wall off here. You wall off at the small ramp here. You just wall off everywhere, and then you can pretty easily set up on 4 bases. It's gonna be on Jim to try and crack the defensive Protoss.
Oh!
Kills a Void.
You got one.
Yeah, pretty good. And right now, this base is vulnerable. Like, you need to wait and you need to set up here. Like, you need to get shield batteries and then stack defense. And he's starting. Oh, no, he's fine. Look at that.
What a guy. Oh, cannons, shield batteries. He's getting he's getting Storm as well. He's got High Templars ready to go. He has more High Templars than he does Zealots, and he's getting Zealot charge with +1. Come on, my guy.
He is perfectly fine. Meanwhile, JimRising isn't going for a timing. Like, he's expanding, taking a 5th base. We see the hive on the way since he did get the infestation pit. So this is where I'm a little bit concerned. We were able to cast JimRising yesterday in Cinemento Latino, and he goes for this like Hydra Viper style. And the problem is, or the problem that we found yesterday at least as he was playing out this matchup, is that it takes a long time for him to switch into Corruptors. Like Hydra Viper is okay, like Hydra Lurker Viper, it's okay for a while, but eventually the Hydras are just so inefficient, they just die to storms and carriers. Like you need to get Corruptors out, and JimRising sometimes can kind of miss that and transition too late.
And we got the fleet beacon almost done already for TriGGeR, a 3rd Stargate being placed down as well, and he's just pumping away. He's getting a lot more Zealots and Archons, Templars, well, just to have a fortifying ground army for his transition into a much better air toss army. The Zealots running by the Hydras, knowing where they are now, but Hydra's going back, trying to catch these Zealots before they do any kind of damage to Jim's base.
That they are. Yeah, they do find the Zealots, they clean them up. Meanwhile, the other Hydras of JimRising are looking for some damage. He's getting close to maxing out, so like he does need to start clearing out some of the supply. I'm a little bit concerned here. It feels like TriGGeR is a little bit vulnerable in between his bases because he doesn't have any stacked defense here. So potentially JimRising could make something happen, as he's still waiting for his Vipers to pop out, suck on them buildings.
6 Vipers. He has his Lurker Den as well, but I don't see any Lurkers being built quite yet. He's got a ton of drones though. I like it. Get that static defense, Jimmy. Oh, what the fuck?
Get it.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Say surprise.
Yeah, unfortunately he was a little bit out of position. This base does get denied, so do the gases. He will be able to clean this up. And again, like JimRising, he doesn't really want to push out quite yet. He's waiting for like +3 range, his armor, his adaptive talons, lurker range.
Those Vipers look healthy.
Oh yeah, they be fit,
full of energy.
Topped up.
Pumping.
Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, we have a bit of a Zealot run by, but we got plenty of stack defense here. And JimRising, he's posturing, he's puffing his chest out. He's getting ready to push in.
Alright, here we go. He's gonna try to attack this 4th base over here. Blinding clouds on the photon cannon so they can't shoot anything. Zealots getting destroyed by the Lurkers, but the carriers are doing a lot of damage. All the feedbacks on the Vipers, they just literally became useless in a matter of seconds.
Mate, this
and
could...
Jim's gotta run back. He's got nothing.
This could be GG. Like, he just lost, like, what, 4 Vipers? And 3 of them are almost dead? And he only got a single Parabomb off. That's all he got for them. There's still plenty of energy on these High Templar for Storm. There's nothing stopping TriGGeR. He can take out this base and keep going from here. Meanwhile, Jim, he's panicking right now. He needs to suck on that juice.
Damn.
Oh, boy.
He has reinforced his Hydras, but yeah, he needs those Vipers and the Viper energy to be able to duck. We'll see how the fight goes. It's coming down to this base over here. Storms do land, some of them. One of the Vipers do get feedbacked and loses all his energy. It's just Jim's trying to consolidate his forces. He gets one abduct, but high Templar feedbacks on the Vipers right away. More Storms on top of Hydras, zoning them out. The War Prism does go down. I guess that's 1+, but at what cost? Another carrier does go down. It's a decent trade for how little number of Hydras got traded for that, I will say. Jim's just trying to find a better position where he's kind of trying to surround the air army, but man, they agile, the juking and jibing.
Exactly. The problem is that JimRising lost all his Vipers. He has nothing but Hydras, and they just don't trade so well against this mass carrier style. There's just so many of them. Maybe if he has enough Hydras, he can overwhelm. It looks like he's getting ready for a surround, or try to surround.
That looks like a lot of storms landing on top of the Hydras, but it's like he's not attacking with everything.
Yeah.
He's only attacking with small forces here and there, and his carriers, they're still reigning supreme. One carrier does go down finally, and it's possible to clean this up, but I think there are too many interceptors.
Yeah, exactly. There's just far too many. There's not enough anti-air here. I mean, JimRising did a good job at like chipping away at the army, you know, killing the majority of the Void Rays, killing everything on the ground. There are no more High Templar of a Storm, but at the end of the day, like, he yoinks, he doesn't even kill the carrier. Like, it takes so long to get it down, and he's trying, and he just barely gets it. The Interceptors.
Damn. Interceptors, good unit.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. And even if TriGGeR starts to run out of steam, he can always just recall.
Is he sending out carriers across the map? Bruh. Reinforce your carriers.
Right? I mean, maybe he doesn't need to. Like, all the Hydras are dead.
Yeah. GG. Damn, son. Okay.
GG, well played. TriGGeR takes the game, takes the series 2-0 over JimRising. Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
And we see how quickly things can really like swing, because Jim, he initiated, he started the fight, and then all those feedbacks happened. He lost the fight, and then immediately TriGGeR went across the map, and just JimRising never had any time to really gather his thoughts to start to transition. He should have thrown down. He probably should have thrown down the Spire as he was like pushing out across the map for the first time, so then he can remax on Corruptors. But again, he was just stuck on Hydras, and yeah, that's in the chat.
Getting all his Vipers feedback right away without even like, I don't know if it was like just like the ping, if there was a ping difference or something, but it looked like TriGGeR was just like he was like it seemed like he was just on his high Templar hotkey ready to go, and whenever he saw the Vipers, he was like moving his High Templars right to them right away. And
would you say he was ready to pull the trigger?
The trigger? I hate you. I hate you so much right now. I hate it. I hate everything.
Oh god.
Where's Kuro? I'll tell her to get in here. Replace me.
Yeah. No, but yeah, like TriGGeR was on it. Like he knew like what his like quote unquote win condition was in that fight. Like he was like, yo, I just gotta feedback everything, and then we Gucci, and that's exactly what he did. It didn't help that like the lurkers were also kind of exposed. Like if you're cool in that fight, it's like the feedbacks went down, and then all the lurkers were dying to the carriers. They didn't really have much support when it came to the Hydras. The Hydras were behind the lurkers. And again, like the point of those lurkers are to keep the Hydras at bay. Sorry, the High Templar at bay. Like that's the point of those lurkers, to make it difficult for those High Templar to really step forward and get those feedbacks off. But JimRising was just a little bit out of position.
Just too good, dude. Too good.